Welcome back to RunThrough TV. My name is Ben Shepherd and here is today's guest.
So I'm Rory Southworth. I do a lot of mountain running and swimming up in the high tarns that we have up here in the northwest of England. I work putting on events for the creative and digital industry in Lancashire, and yeah, I get out quite a bit.
The best way I describe Rory is an outdoorsman. So what happened when the outdoors was kind of taken away from him during the first lockdown? Well, he adapted, and he adapted in a pretty amazing way.
Yeah, so I could see the trend was that we were gonna have to stay home for quite a bit. So that's quite different to the sort of 6 days I'm outside a week, running, swimming, cycling and paddling. So I quickly converted to being a home athlete. I coined that phrase, and I could see that I was gonna need to maintain my fitness. I was gonna just need to be active, but also have some purpose. Normally I have a project on the go at any point in time. So I just finished swimming all the highest and deepest tarns in the Lake District, swimming the length of those during the coldest months. And I thought I'm ready for a next project. And as lockdown came, I thought I would do something with people for a start. As soon as lockdown was starting, I did the UK 3 Peaks height, just on like my backyard sort of space. So I ran up and down the back hill so many times to get to the height of Scarfell Pike. Then I ran up and down my back stairs that takes me from my kitchen to my garden to do the height of Ben Nevis. And then finally I did just the height of the bottom step to do the height of Snowdon. So that was like 7,000 times doing just up and down on my back step.
But he didn't stop there. So many people wanted to get involved with what Rory was doing that he came up with this idea.
So I thought I would create a group of people. I offered it open to anyone, and we kind of had about 30, and I capped it at that, to come with me and do the Everest Base Camp journey, height, over 5 days, just on our back stairs, on our home staircases. It was great because the reasoning behind it was to engage with people that rely on the outdoors for their mental health, rely on their outdoors for a lot of things that you don't get just Netflixing and just staying inside. So I called on a few buddies that I could see were going to be struggling to get involved and help me, because I need that purpose too. If I don't have a project on, I don't feel as good. So we all needed it, and it just was the right thing. And the fact that we had support from everyone in this kind of group of 30 of us, that was each day waking up. And I always made sure, because I was leading it, that I would try and get it done before anyone else. So I'd wake up at 6, I'd go out to my back steps, and I'd put 600, 700 meters of elevation, running up and down my steps hundreds of times. It's only 7 steps, that's only like 1.2 meters. So I'd have to do quite a lot of ascent. And whether it was raining or it was dry, I was out there making sure I put in the ascent, encouraging the group. And if people were struggling, everyone was there for them. If they had any questions, if they had any injuries or niggles or whatever, like the team was built up of people who, we had doctors, we had physios, we had just people that just get out running a lot and can help. I had Jacob Adkin, who's the European current mountain running world champion, send us video messages of advice. I got him to give us some WhatsApp videos to advise. I got Beth Pascal, an amazing ultra athlete, to advise people on how to make sure they don't overdo themselves over 5 days, because obviously she's got the FKT for like the Cape Wrath Trail with Damo, and so I had all these really experienced people. I even had the female world champion stair running athlete send a bunch of videos of advice for running up and down stairs to make sure people weren't overdoing it or weren't using poor technique. And it really was this global community, which was amazing.
Yeah, you heard that right. 5 days to get to Everest Base Camp virtually on a set of stairs. Pretty amazing challenge, to be fair. And in true Rory fashion, if you know him by now, he didn't stop there.
A few people wanted to go from base camp to the summit. And I didn't want to do that over a few days because, that's what we'd already done. I wanted to do it in a single push. I'm inspired by people like Kilian Jornet and Uli Steck, when he was doing some pretty amazing things. I thought that the indoor home athlete next step is to do base camp to summit in a single push. That's 3,800 meters or something of elevation. It's a lot of ascent on your back stairs. So a few of us from around the world got together, and throughout that single sort of, for me it was like 4 hours 15 minutes. It took some people it took them like 10 hours. I think there was a guy that did it in just under 4 hours. So really varying levels of ability. But people that wouldn't even had conceived, couldn't even think about doing 3,000 meters of a single push, in the Alps or in the outdoors at all, in a big ultra run or whatever, they were doing it, and they were realizing that actually they were fitter. They could do things that they wouldn't have thought otherwise, and we're all being brought together. Like about halfway through, I was video calling a guy out in Australia that was doing it in his flat fire exit. He was going up and he was having different issues to me. He was having heat problems, whereas for me the temperature was perfect, but I was having to turn around. Sort of, I can't remember how many times I turned around. It's probably like over 4,000, probably more like 5,000 turns, and that's a lot on my hips. Like when I'm out running, I don't turn that many times in 4 hours. Like if I turn, like 100 times in 4 hours, that would be quite excessive. This was 180 turns every few seconds, so there was a lot going on for a lot of us, and I think it was probably about 12 or so of us that did the final push.
Worth noting as well that everybody that had a go at the virtual Everest push did do it, so congratulations to everybody that had a go at that. Once again, thank you to Rory for coming on and speaking to us here at RunThrough TV. If you don't follow his Instagram, go and do that. The guy just does so many amazing projects, and I know you'll really, really enjoy it. If you don't subscribe to RunThrough TV, please do get that done for us, and if you want to see any guests on this channel in the near future, pop it in the comments box below and we'll do our best to get them on.